Hello, class. I am doing my presentation for our final over Dexter Morgan. Today, I'm going to analyze the character Dexter Morgan from the TV show Dexter from a psychological perspective. Dexter is a forensic blood spatter analyst who secretly lives a double life as a serial killer. In this presentation, I will explain what psychological diagnosis best fits Dexter, how he meets the DSM criteria, how accurately the show portrays the disorder, and what treatment might look like. The diagnosis I believe that best fits Dexter Morgan is antisocial personality disorder, often abbreviated as ASPD. To understand why, we must first briefly look at what ASPD actually is. Some of the points I'm going to talk about is antisocial personality disorder is a personality disorder characterized by a pattern of disregarding the rights of others, and he clearly does that. People with ASPD often show behaviors such as breaking laws, and for those of you that have watched Dexter, he is part of the law, and he uses being a blood spatter analyst as a spot or as a platform to more or less find his next victim. Manipulating others, lack of remorse, aggression, and reckless behavior. He clearly lacks remorse. This was a super long series, and all through it, he commits murder on people that he feels justified to commit murder on by their actions. And he gets this through going to crime scenes and investigating them and breaking them down. And then the way that his brain works, he justifies the killing by the information that he collects. The DSM-5 also requires that symptoms begin earlier in life, usually with conduct problems before the age of 15. This disorder is often associated with psychopathic traits such as emotional detachment and superficial charm. And for those of you that watch the show Dexter, he's known very much for putting on a face and having that superficial charm throughout each one of his days. He's very rarely a guy that is actually showing you his true feelings. When we look at Dexter's behavior throughout the series, many of these characteristics clearly appear. Here's some of the main arguments. Right, Dexter Morgan shows many of the core features of antisocial personality disorder. He repeatedly breaks the law. He manipulates people around him to hide his identity. He often lacks remorse for the people that he kills. I think the only time Dexter feels bad for the people that he kills is whenever he finds out that it wasn't exactly how he thought it to be, and that happens quite often. His antisocial behaviors also began when he was a child, which is an important requirement for this diagnosis according to the DSM-5. Even though he appears high functioning and normal, his actions still strongly align with ASPD. Now I'm going to go through the DSM-5 diagnosis criteria and explain how Dexter meets them all. Dexter repeatedly commits serious crimes. This is the failure to follow the law, and this is part of that. He kidnaps, he imprisons, and he kills people that he believes are guilty. He stalks suspects, he breaks into homes, and he destroys evidence. And due to his background, he's super good at this, right? He can do this, and he knows how to cover up what he's done. He knows how to cover up prints, and by stalking them, he takes just the right moment to get in the door and do what he feels he needs to do to be able to get them to the place he needs to get them to either murder them then and there, or to basically imprison them until the time is right. Ironically, he works for the police department while secretly committing multiple felonies. Many felonies if you've watched the show. He's deceitful and manipulative. Dexter constantly lies to maintain his double life. He presents to be a normal coworker and a normal neighbor. He manipulates coworkers and loved ones, including Deborah and Rita. Much of the show revolves around how carefully he deceives everyone. He is a master deceiver. Now, the impulsivity part. Although Dexter appears careful and methodical, he sometimes acts impulsively, but he's able to always clean it up. Right? It's a TV show, and he's good at it. He occasionally kills people without fully confirming that they meet his code. See, he's got a code in his mind. He's got a code that gives him purpose and reason and makes it okay. And he strongly stands by this code. But many times throughout the seasons, he murders, and then after he murders, quickly he realizes, oh no, this didn't meet my code. Or maybe even in the midst of the murder he thinks, oh no, this doesn't meet my code, but he's went too far. And if he doesn't follow through, then he'll get found out. Emotional situations can push him into rush decisions. And another part of the impulsivity is these choices sometimes create major complications. The aggression and the violence. Dexter frequently shows aggression. Man, he is a maniac at some of these shows. He violently confronts suspects during abductions. When threatened, he escalates quickly to physical force. He also struggles to control what he calls his dark passenger. His reckless regard for safety. Dexter's actions regularly put others in danger. His secret life exposes coworkers and family to violent criminals. Some of his decisions bring attention from investigators. This creates ongoing risk for the people around him. There's a few times throughout the show he is involved, and the lady he's involved with has a kid, and there's a few times in the show where the kid is actually in danger, but if it meets Dexter's code, right, he goes for it. His lack of remorse. Dexter rarely feels guilt for his actions. He justifies his behavior by saying he only kills other killers. He rationalized violence as necessary. And early in the show, he even describes himself as unable to feel normal emotions. And the evidence from childhood. The DSM requires signs of conduct disorder before age 15. Dexter's backstory includes killing animals, violent urges, and fascination with blood, and this is long before 15. These behaviors suggest early conduct patterns. So accurate portrayals of the disorder. The show portrays several aspects of antisocial personality disorder accurately, like Dexter consistently breaking the laws and prioritizing his own goals. He manipulates people and he lies frequently. His childhood behaviors match early warning signs often associated with ASPD. The show also demonstrates how individuals with this disorder can appear normal on the surface. Inaccurate or exaggerated portrayals. So, however, the show is not completely realistic. Dexter is portrayed as extremely high functioning. He holds a stable job and blends into society easily and successfully. The show also gives him a strict moral code, making him even more like a vigilante. In reality, ASPD is usually more focused on personal gain rather than following rules like Dexter does. And the last inaccurate or exaggerated portrayal is he often forms deeper emotional connections that would typically be expected. So possible treatment for Dexter. If Dexter were a real person, treatment would likely involve long-term psychotherapy. One possible approach could be cognitive behavioral therapy. Therapy would focus on understanding his thinking patterns, controlling impulses, and developing empathy. However, antisocial personality disorder is known to be a difficult treat. Many individuals with ASPD do not believe their behavior is a problem. Because of this treatment, success rates are relatively low. Still therapy can help reduce harmful behavior and improve functioning over time. So, in conclusion, Dexter Morgan is a fictional character who strongly fits the criteria for antisocial personality disorder. His repeated criminal behaviors, manipulation, lack of remorse, and early conduct problems all support this diagnosis. While the show portrays some aspects accurately, it also exaggerates certain traits to make the story more compelling. Analyzing characters like Dexter Morgan can help us better understand how psychological disorders are represented in media. It also shows the difference between entertainment and real world psychology. Hey, thank you for watching and listening to my psychological analysis of Dexter Morgan. This has been a fun panel.